When I read the mortality rates of breast cancer and knowing there's over 40,000 women who die of breast cancer every year in our country needlessly, I can't sleep at night if I don't do what I need to do to at least try to bring awareness to this technology. There's so many women walking around with time bombs in their body that if they knew that they had access to a screening that would catch these cancers early, I can't move fast enough. I can't talk to enough people. I can't get this clinic up and started soon enough. As a woman with breast augmentation, several years ago, I started to just have some concerns as I was going in for my yearly mammograms. They always had me sign just this little notice, making me aware that if I have breast implants, that there could be potential for rupture and potential obscuring of the image itself. And I was sitting there getting ready to kind of flippantly sign my name again, and I paused, like, why am I signing this sheet? And if I'm having to sign this sheet, should I be concerned? I don't want to do something that would potentially rupture my implant and cause me harm. I don't want to have cancer there going undetected. But I didn't know what my options were, unfortunately. I had the pause, I had the concern, but I didn't have the answer. And then years later, I was on a Google search and saw a technology called SonoCine. And I'd never heard of SonoCine, but as I did my research, I realized this is it. This is the answer that I should have been hunting for years earlier, actually. So it's this amazing ultrasound technology. It takes 3,000 to 5,000 automated images and stitches them together into rows of images that play as a movie for the radiologist to read. And that is what's so powerful in allowing the radiologist to spot these small masses. When you can catch cancers as small as 3 millimeters at stage 0 or stage 1, for most women means a very non-invasive treatment path. And so the more I researched this technology, it's been FDA approved for 10 years, I just became so fascinated and honestly wanted it for myself. I just started calling all the imaging centers in the state of Washington, trying to find where I could access this technology for me. And to no avail. The closest place was California that I could receive this imaging. But on that journey, I realized there was this larger issue of dense breast tissue. And I was reading these stories of these other women and saw many stories where mammograms had failed women with dense breast tissue in finding cancers that were actually there where the mammogram just couldn't see it. And it became painfully clear that this story had landed really close to my own life, because this was my friend Natalie's story as well. And so I picked up the phone and called her and I asked her, I said, do you have dense breast tissue? And she said, yes, I do. And I said, do you know if that is why your cancer was missed in your mammogram? And she said, yes, it was. And I instantly knew that this technology would have made my friend's story much different. Now, unfortunately, her cancer has spread. She's at a stage 4 battle right now in her cancer journey, and it's just been this horrific and traumatic thing to watch someone you love battle something that you know actually could have been prevented had they had access to this technology. I kind of just couldn't shake it, and I would just spend days on my laptop researching this and formulating a plan to bring this technology to women and really make this available across the United States. That is my heart and my vision. I mean, I'm bringing it first to the women in my community, but really, ultimately, I would love to see one of these machines in every major city in America. We've seen the pink ribbon campaigns about early detection, and that is true. Early detection saves your life. If you can catch a cancer at stage 0, stage 1, it's almost 100% survival rate. The problem is with mammograms, the only tissue that is able to be scanned is the physical tissue that can be pulled away from your chest wall. And the denser your breast tissue is, the more white it appears on a mammogram. But cancer also appears white on a mammogram. So for women with dense breast tissue, it is like literally trying to find a golf ball in a snowstorm. It's very difficult. The way that Sono-Cine works, though, is it captures the entire breast, under your arm, your lymph nodes, your sternum, along our side back and up on our chest wall. And so the fact that this technology can truly scan the entire breast area is really amazing. The name of our clinic that we're opening here in Spokane is Kvinna, and Kvinna means woman in Swedish. This clinic is my heartbeat for women, and bringing this first clinic to Spokane is honestly just the first step. There will be other women across this country, in other cities, and other regions who care enough about the women of their community to lock arms with us and bring the Kvinna clinics and the Sono-Cine technology to the women in their community. We're going to have a very simple business model that we can hand off and empower you to not only create a profitable business, but a life-changing technology for women. And if you're sitting here listening to this and your heart is beating a little bit fast, that might be your nudge. Maybe it's a nudge for your own screening. Maybe it's just a nudge to share this with somebody else that you think might need to hear it, or it could actually be a larger nudge that you need to lock arms with me and be a part of bringing this to every city in America. And if you're like me, trying to kind of blow off the nudge because you're disqualifying yourself, I don't know enough, I'm not qualified, who am I? Just ignore that, because we're going to need an army of women to make this possible, and you might just be one of those soldiers.